Hello, Internet. My name is Roro, and welcome to my channel. I hope everyone's having a good day. Today, I wanted to talk about how I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. And I'll explain why. Let's get into it. So, for anyone who hasn't watched my channel before, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, and I have been making music and art pretty much my whole life, and I've always identified especially as being a musician because I've been playing drums since I was in first grade. I've been playing guitar since I was like my earliest memories. A lot of them were me playing guitar. So I've always identified as a musician. I've always had a natural talent and was able to pick up different instruments pretty easily, pick up different musical concepts pretty easily. So I kind of rode on my natural talent for most of my life. And always just kind of assumed that that's what I would do in my life. That's what I would pursue and make my career. And this led me down a pretty narrow path where I'm not focused on enjoying making music, the process of making art, all that stuff. I'm simply just making a product because that's what I've become is a product, or that's what I thought I had become. You know, my identity as a musician had become this kind of focused thing, which is good if you're trying to make it a business because you need to be consistent. You need to have branding. You need to kind of, you know, filter out all the extra stuff so that you can be as clear and concise as possible so people can connect with what you're doing, at least like on a bigger level. That's kind of what you have to do. And it also doesn't help that a lot of my friends who are musicians, they are pretty successful. You know, some of them have pretty, I don't want to say mainstream success, but they're living off their music. They're getting a lot of work. They're working with a lot of exciting artists. So comparing myself to my friends is never, I mean, comparing yourself to anybody ever, especially when it comes to art and identity, is never the right thing to do. But it just doesn't help that I have so many people that are successful that I feel like I should be at the same place as them. You know what I'm saying? But for anyone who watches my channel, you also know that I'm a loner. I like to be inside all the time. I like to be by myself all the time. And I'm not really like a networking business kind of person. And in order to make it in that world, you have to be connecting with people, collaborating, networking, you know, having a sort of business mindset because you're essentially starting your own business and running your own business if you're an independent musician. And I've kind of always known this, but I've been in denial because of my ego has been pushing me to try to achieve this thing, this success that's kind of vague, but also very specific in music. And for the past year, I've been really battling with that. But maybe like 2 months ago or so, I decided to just give it up completely. Not making music, but pursuing music as a career. I really had to just be honest with myself one day and admit that this is not what I actually want, you know? I want to be able to make music freely at my leisure and make whatever I want and not focus on the product, not focus on, you know, how I'm going to package it and market it and release it and like what it's going to sound like, all that stuff, because that really just gets in the way of my favorite part of music is just making it and just being in the moment and just enjoying the process of creating. And that's all I really care about, which is why I made so much music and didn't put a lot of it out, is because I didn't really ever care to put it out. And anytime I did, it felt like something I was doing that was kind of forced and an obligation, and it became not fun. And I don't want art and music to ever feel not fun. And honestly, it's not even like I'm giving anything up because I never achieved any level of success. You know, like this channel is already bigger than anything I've ever done with music. And I've only been doing this for 6 months. And it's much more fulfilling because I can just focus on the process. I don't have to do a lot of like intricate editing or like think about anything too much, at least right now. You know, I just kind of record myself talking, play some video games, throw them on top of each other, and upload it to YouTube. And that formula has really helped me focus on what's important for me for this channel is just getting my thoughts and ideas out and just like putting them out there and seeing what happens, and or just really just recording myself talking for my own reference. And if anybody else likes it and it helps them, then that's just a bonus. Yeah, and another thing about trying to be a musician is you pretty much are a slave to the algorithm. You're a slave to these like big social media companies, and you kind of work for them. You don't really work for yourself because you have to cater to the algorithm in order to get people to know what you're doing. And I really hate social media. I've never been a big fan of it, but I was used to be very active on it. But it's just very bad for my mental health, and I think a lot of people's mental health. But it just got to a point where I really was backed into a corner mentally and very desperate, and I really just had to get off of it completely. So I deleted all of my, personal or music social media accounts. So now this is literally like, well, I use Discord, but this is the only thing that I really use is YouTube and, watching Twitch streamers and stuff, which I am going to start streaming on Twitch soon. I've done it in the past with my music, but I'm going to start doing it for this channel as well. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, but that's going to come in a little bit, not right away. But yeah, anyway, as far as music, I've really been in general trying to get out of my screen as much as possible. Obviously I still am on YouTube. I'm still, you know, playing video games, doing that stuff. I work from home and I'm on a computer 8 hours a day for work. So, um, I used to pretty much spend 8 hours a day working and then 8 hours after that on my computer, either making beats or watching videos, working on random art stuff, videos, whatever. But I've been playing a lot of guitar lately, trying to sort of get back to like that early feeling of what excited me with music. And even though guitar was the first instrument that I ever played, I never really considered myself a guitar player. I always just kind of noodled around with guitar and like, would play it intermittently, just kind of casually. I never really was like, I'm a guitar player. Because I've played bass in bands, I've played drums in bands, I, make music on my computer, like electronic hip hop, beats, stuff like that. So, I studied classical music in school. I've done a lot of different stuff with music, but I've never really been like, yeah, I'm going to own guitar. I'm going to like really dig into this and figure out really how I like to play it. So it's been really fun experimenting with guitar lately, and it's been very fulfilling. And, who knows what'll come with it. I'm not saying I'll never put music out again. It's just not something that I'm thinking about at all, not something I'm prioritizing. I'm just playing guitar because I want to play guitar, and we'll see how it goes. And if I ever do end up putting out music, I'll let you guys know. And I'm gonna be doing like a kind of bigger channel update probably in a month or so. Uh, like I kind of mentioned before, I'm gonna start doing live stream type stuff so that we can connect live. You guys can ask me questions live. But I don't have all the details ironed out for that. But I do want to start kind of developing this community a little bit more and have it be a little bit more direct. So it's not just these videos every week. Um, but like I said, that's all going to come in the future. So hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you like this one, I have a bunch of other ones on my channel, similar topics. I make a new video every Sunday, so you can come back next week for a new one. And I end every video now with a little bit of original music, so enjoy. See you guys next time.